Yeah! Welcome to another episode of the Angry Turtle Podcast. We have a wonderful guest today.
Oh, yeah. We got comedian Mike McFarland out of Los Angeles with us. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo!
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm not much into rock and roll. I don't. Okay, Lauren, you're trying to think. That was awesome. That was a great intro. Awesome. So we're going to get started off here. Just talking a little bit with our co-host just real quick. Jorge had his set taped here. Congratulations, Jorge. You were at Caravan Comedy Club.
I was in Caravan Comedy Club in Louisville, Kentucky. It was a very great show. Shout out to Craig Ewan. He was a great host.
Awesome.
Woo, woo, woo.
And our fellow host here is you're going to be hosting what Can next week? Or?
Yes, so I'll be performing at Big Mike G's open mic night at Can. Woo.
You know how big my head would look with those glasses on? My head was
You want to try?
Oh, dude.
I really tried to go for the rock. I got the leather and the sunglasses. But here.
You look like Whoopi Goldberg in The Matrix.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Whoopi Goldberg.
I look like Whoopi Goldberg went white.
It was a joke. I got
there you go.
Those do look like Matrix sunglasses.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
cool.
that is awesome. And, awesome. So, what about you, Dustin? You got anything going on?
Not really. Probably be hosting a couple weeks at the Fountain Square open mic. Fountain Square's brewery open mic, sorry. But had a pretty good set over the last week, so it was pretty good other than that. What about you, Johnny?
I am zigzagging still. I just been handling the business side of the back end of things on all the hard work on the back end, So, yeah.
Like, yeah, dude.
It sucks.
Oh, and we both applied for Indy's Funniest competition.
get that $1,200.
Hey.
Nope.
I got a question for everybody before we start, grilling him here. I put in a headshot with a ski mask on.
As long as there wasn't a penis in my
I
mouth.
don't know if I should resubmit my headshot with a clean headshot. Mike, what do you think? Should I have? I was just trying to be different. I thought it was funny at the moment. I had a ski mask on. I need some opinions here because I need some help because I'm like, I got 4 days.
Yeah. Some people might take that as blackface.
Yeah. Yeah, I would put in you can put in both if you want to, because then the booker will think you have a certain character to your comedy style, but they also want to see your face because, the public wants to know who they're going to be watching.
Make sure you're not going to shoot them up.
Well, I think it just adds a little intrigue to the stage presence, because everybody's questioning it at first, and it definitely keeps the eye contact there.
I feel like I say do it. I say do it on stage for sure. But I think if you're going to make that your permanent shtick.
No, it's too itchy. I got sensitive skin.
Like if that's your permanent shtick, I would say do it. Like you're going to have it in your picture and then you're also going to do it on stage. I'd say do it. But if you're not planning to wear it on stage, I would say I would go against it. But also...
But then if this is your first show with a lot of people, you want people to see you, right?
I want to be different. Everybody's got their little head.
I say to still do it, but I say if you're going to do it, I'd say don't upload a picture of you wearing it if you're not going to do it on stage, basically.
Yeah. I think basically what...
But also, if you use a professional picture and you still decide to do it on stage, it's going to look a lot better than if you put one online and then you come off on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I appreciate your guys' opinion.
That's what I feel like.
I will have to think about that for another 4 days.
Yeah, no shit.
Anybody got some questions here? I know you guys have been doing your research. Doing your research. Is my mic on, Wyatt?
Should I hit him with the weird ones right away?
Ready to get.
Don't hit him with the weird ones already.
Yeah, we'll save those.
Okay.
Figure it out. Let's do it.
I'll start with an easier one. All right, so you've got a bachelor's degree. And do you feel like that has benefited you with your comedy career?
Well, as a comedian, you gotta network a lot. You're just constantly networking, meeting people. Mm-hmm. So that portion of it, because you see yourself as a brand, as a product.
Good point. Yeah.
So, and the other part of that too is being able to network with the bookers as well. which is also important too. Because when you go to a comedy show, it doesn't matter if it's in a bar, or parking lot, or it's in a comedy club. You really have no idea who's in the audience.
Yeah.
So going around and networking is really important. On the back end, I'm able to use some of those skills and it's not so costly for me. So I was able to create a blog, but make it look like a website, and it cost me nothing.
Oh, good idea.
That's great.
So that's really helpful too, to be able to have that knowledge.
That is definitely interesting.
Note taken. I was like, good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
I do have a question for you. It's kind of like a side, not like a side thing, but it's like, what was your first like comedy experience where you're like, oh, I'm doing that. Like, that's going to be my thing.
Oh, my first open mic I ever had, I totally bombed.
Did you freeze for?
It was so bad that in the middle of it, I said, I know I'm bombing.
Oh no!
And then everyone started clapping. They're like, "You can make it!"
See it through.
So it was.
No.
I think the people kind of cheering you on and like never not knowing you and never meeting you and like encouraging you to keep doing it. I think that's what actually brought me back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, like for sure. Because I know, remember we had our first set. We performed at Crackers, and Johnny's with me there. Had a pretty decent set, I feel like, and then comics coming up, just being like, "Oh, hey, actually, I think this would be kind of good for your set. That was funny, but try it this way," or like giving suggestions. It was like, "Oh, that was my first experience with that," so I just ignited another fire for me personally too. I was like,
"Yeah, I love Crackers. I get about a minute out every time I'm there." What's up?
You're not supposed to say "fuck" on stage, and then he got up there. He goes, "Anybody ever throw punch a hooker?" I'm fucking nervous. And then his mic got cut.
Yeah. I haven't been back yet.
He hasn't been back.
No. I don't know. I'm trying to work on having clean comedy also into my routine, because I know that you gotta be versatile out here. I'm
trying not to cuss in general because I don't want to rely on that to make my shit funny.
Fuck that. I use my swear words like poetry, like I said before.
It is poetry.
It is. I mean,
I spit cuss words in my hands and shake hands with them.
I try not to be disrespectful to anybody. I just sometimes a little bit more passionate.
Yeah, that's the word I use too. Passionate. Not angry.
That's actually really
you
interesting
looking at me?
subject to talk about. What I was taught was, if you're going to use, the F word or any other word, use it with emphasis to emphasize another word.
Yeah.
Oh,
that makes sense too. Because I feel like if you use it too much, too quickly, it's just kind of like, all right, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah. I've watched other comedians where they use that word or use the word, and it's not that it's offensive or upsetting, it's that it interrupts the set. So you hear the word and then they go on to another thought, hear the word, go on to another thought. And then what happens is the thought or what the story they're trying to tell you is now is divided up, and then it becomes difficult to follow what they're saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of like basically your period's a fuck. So right. Chopping everything up.
Yeah.
So what do they call it? A filler also? It's a filler word?
Yeah, it's it makes sense. It's kind of buying time.
Yeah.
I've also heard it called like a leading word, where it's just you're using it to add more to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jorge's fucking me up right now every time he looks over at me.
I'm looking over.
I'm looking at me with your eye blush and your eye.
I love it.
Staring at me like the crazy kid in school.
Those peepers getting you erect?
Trench coat.
He's staring at me twice now.
I'm literally only looking over when you say something as out of respect.
But I love how you bat your eyelashes.
He does. He's batting his eyelashes.
Oh, Johnny, I didn't know you were bringing tints today.
Yeah. Those eyes really pop out with that makeup.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike, did you ever wear eye makeup, or do you when you perform, or?
No, I actually don't wear any of that stuff, and it's because I'm not coordinated enough to put it on.
It's hard.
I didn't put this on.
I
did not put this on
I'm not
myself.
artistic enough to do that, man.
If you have a shaky hand, sometimes they're like, yeah.
You're trying to put makeup on, and you gotta think.
Yeah.
Felt really weird putting this on today.
I used to wear eye makeup unironically, just kind of because I thought it looked good. But it was before my eyelids were super droopy, so
Oh,
you know,
Yeah.
I'm a super drooper.
Sad.
You know what I'm saying?
super true.
I need a bra for my lids.
Super Trooper.
So,
Oh my gosh.
so how long have you been doing stand up all together?
Altogether, it's only been 3 years.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I'm still kind of a newbie, but public speaking wise, I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And
And so I was kind of nerdy in school. So I was on the speech team
Nice.
in school, and then I used to teach orientation to all the new hires at Universal Studios. So I would teach all the boring stuff to 80 to 100 people, in one setting. So just trying to make
there goes our
corporate information interesting. That's hard. That's really difficult because people are like falling asleep during that.
Yeah.
So I got a question.
Cool.
What
Yeah.
about Ron White brought like your inspiration in comedy?
Because he's direct. And if you listen to his jokes, there's no fluff that's in there. It's just set up and then it's a punch. And then if he's going to tell a story, then he tells you a prelude to that. Hey, you guys heard about the time I was arrested, and then it's a story.
Mm.
So I really like that. And he's an older gentleman who basically is just telling the world that this is who I am and I don't really care. And for someone to make it as a stand-up comedian without really any film or movies behind him kind of pushing him forward, that is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do.
Right.
I think that's kind of like what I like Andrew Schultz. He kind of like changed the game a little bit. I feel like too, like production wise, because he kind of like he started out acting, but then he's like, nah, fuck this, and then he was like, he started doing like clips of his comedy and putting that up on his YouTube, and then just kind of like was stacking on top of that. And he's like, it was weird. He like changed the way people kind of like did comedy at that point. So it was kind of interesting to see him do that too. It was like, well, that's new. That people do new stuff with the comedy. It's like, it's interesting to see.
Yeah, it's
Lewis Black is another one that's like that too. I mean, you don't really see him in films, but he's quite popular.
I definitely like Lewis Black.
Yeah, Lewis Black's amazing. George Carlin was a big one for me when I was a kid.
Cool.
The way he'd use words and
Yeah.
just like rapid fire, it's like, man, that's insane.
I got a quick question right off the shooting it right at you. Your top 3 favorite rock songs.
Oh.
Okay, we got Rob Zombie, Living Dead Girl. Then we've got Motley Crue, Live Wire.
Good song.
And let's see, what's another one that I like? I would have to say Joan Jett and the Blackhearts when I Love Rock and Roll.
Oh, I know that
I'll
one.
do that song.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to go see a concert here in August with 4 bands. It's got Motley Crue, Joan Jett, Poison, and Def Leppard.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
all
they're
4 of
actually-
those going to be at the SoFi Stadium. Yeah.
They're
yeah,
coming
like
here. They're coming in.
Fourth row back from the stage. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
great.
Lauren, do you
Nice.
know any of these people? In today,
I do not.
in today's weather.
Okay, guys, ready?
Wait, today's weather. Come, where you at?
How can you see the storm coming? Because it's supposed to rain. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
All of this time, you never want to see in the dark. You were right in front of me. Yeah. Bring me to life. That is my sad attempt.
That was amazing. Who
I know.
That is the best weather report we've had so far.
would have
Yeah,
thought I'm
it's
the only
not-
singer in here?
So that was
Shout
my
out to
sad-
Evanescence.
Yeah, does that?
Yeah.
I grew up listening to that song.
I have no fucking clue what you were singing. I thought it was an original, but
Well, no.
oh, you're breaking my
No, it's not
heart.
original.
Yeah, so
Do you have any? I actually have a question pertaining to the music thing. Do you have any bands that are like kind of like the newer bands of the day that you personally get into or you enjoy, or they were just like, oh, that's pretty good?
Yeah, I'm kind of an old school kind of guy. So
I
I
feel
mean,
that.
I grew up in the '80s. So I do like the '80s music. But one thing to add to that, whether you're a musician, I think being a musician today is harder than it was in the 80s. For sure. It
so
really
much coming
is.
at one time.
There's so much music that's kind of given away. I mean, really, they only make their money when they go on the road and selling tickets.
Yeah.
So, but I have a huge, I have a lot of admiration for musicians because, a lot of them, they're homeless, living out of cars, and they move on with their dream. You got to give props to that, man.
That's
Whether
crazy.
it was in the 80s, day, you know what I mean?
I used to, when I was a teenager, I used to watch these videos all the time called, it was like Bus Invaders. There's this thing they'd have on YouTube. And what they would do is they'd go to all these rock bands, these metal bands, and they'd go to them and show like either their vans or their tour buses. But some of them were in like the the little church vans. And some of them would get super creative. They'd make bunk beds in there. They'd make a table and then they'd put like their beds and stuff, and somebody'd sleep underneath, and then they had somebody sleep on the seat. Like, man, that stuff's, they'd get super creative and just stack into each other. It's wild. And just a little van.
Yeah, you got to admire people stepping out and trying to follow their dreams. Yeah. Picky Boo. That even in like stand up, it's art in general, I guess, when you're standing out and putting yourself out there in front of the world, it's difficult because you just never know where you're going to land. But yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you have
true that.
Do you have a top choice?
Yeah,
between
I have a lot of comedian friends that live out of cars and they still do it. I know a guy that's really great friend of mine. He lived in his car for 5 years out here in LA.
What'd you say?
That's perseverance, man.
Yes, dedication for sure.
What'd you say, Lauren?
Yeah, between performing, the rock band or doing the music side or performing stand up, which one's your top choice? Or can you decide?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I like stand up. Because I'm a comedian. But I love going to concerts for sure.
Oh, nice. Nice.
One of the comedians that stands out to me that kind of mixed the two, which I haven't seen in a long time, is Sam Kinison. I don't know if you remember him or not.
Wow.
But he would. For a while he traveled with a band, and that way he'd open up his stand up and do a quick song, cool. And then do his stand up.
Very cool.
It was amazing.
While we have a second, Wyatt, would it be cool if we did a quick cut so I can go add money to my meter?
No quick. He said the meter maid hates us. I haven't seen her today.
Her.
Everybody take a look out for the meter maid. Cut. You just run out there and we'll continue on without you, sir.
I'll be right back.
You should have put 2 quarters in there.
I was going to ask about your shirt, your t-shirt. It looks really cool. I'm assuming it's a band.
This is Rob Zombie, and this shirt's kind of cool because it's his wife is on the front.
Oh, nice.
Rob Zombie does movies too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this combines his movies with his music.
Oh, awesome.
Is what that is. I love all his movies because it's that 70s genre type of movie, and then he kind of adds his own spin on it, like he did on Halloween when he did the backstory on Michael, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess with you being brought up in the 80s, so do you like Kiss, or is that like that's a weird? Sometimes people are like I like rock from that generation, but aren't really a big Kiss fan, or vice versa. So, Kiss.
No, I like Kiss. I do.
Yeah.
I think when you read about these bands and you see why they did certain things, it makes it more interesting. Like when you hear the music and then the backstory on them, you're like, it makes it better. So the whole backstory on Kiss of why they wore the makeup, right?
I thought it was because of all the Polaroid sex pictures.
I was like, I don't.
No. Oh, my bad. No, I don't. Honestly.
So they didn't want their parents to know what they were doing.
Oh, they were probably supposed to be like Orthodox
they
church.
wore
they were all
they
Jewish,
wore the
right?
makeup.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're supposed to be. I don't know if they Orthodox. Is it? Hey, what's up outside?
What's up?
So she's about to hop it on the scooter. Sorry. So they were hiding it from their mothers. And they're super talented.
Mm-hmm.
Just awesome. And then of course that became their gimmick. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
I remember posters. Growing because as a young kid I was in the 70s and as teenagers in the 80s. But I remember, in the late 70s and seeing that poster, and you're just like, man, where are these guys, man? These guys are totally awesome. I mean, all that leather, and that makeup. There was like, they're like aliens, they're like from another planet. They were super awesome.
Yeah, their calf strength must have been amazing because the platform shoes they had to wear out, for hours on end. I couldn't do it. I got weak ankles.
Then snap.
Yeah,
Get a little Conor McGregor over here.
yeah. That is. Did the meter maid? Where's he at? He might have got hit by the meter maid.
Got the meter maid.
Yeah,
got held up by the meter maid.
Yeah.
So talking about Los Angeles, I recently left there to move here to Indy.
Okay.
Let me ask you this: do you still love it over there after all this craziness?
Yeah, I do. I do love LA. It's got that creative spirit that you can feel. That really kind of pushes and kind of generates everybody to keep pushing out new material. So I definitely love the city, and there's always something going on.
Yeah,
I went there. I go there every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bombed. After I got out of comedy class, I went to West Hollywood, the Comedy Club of Hollywood, I think. I think that's what it was. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy named Mario there. He likes to wear bikinis. I don't know if you've seen him around. A German. I'm not going to say his last name, but he asked me to go to a bathhouse and beat figs over my back.
You want to see my upper thigh?
Yeah, while jiggling dicks.
Nice.
My first comedy show.
I haven't seen Mario in the bikini with his kibbles and bits sticking out.
I haven't either. But he's
seen that one. I think that I would remember that for sure.
Now I've seen some crazy shit in Los Angeles in the 2 years that I was there. I think I saw a gentleman with a Speedo and like shit on his chest walking on Hollywood Boulevard. To go into the Chinese theater. So
I saw a guy injecting steroids into his penis once. I was
whoa.
Like, not really. I just made that up.
Whoa. My goodness gracious.
But totally believable.
Yeah, that was so, I was in. It was like,
is this going to make it bigger?
It's just a fucking strong ass penis. Like,
it's going to look like Rocky.
Like, wow.
Hey, you have your underwear around your neck and your jeans shoved halfway up your ass on Hollywood Boulevard and no one questioned.
Yeah, it's the weird.
Everyone would be like, okay.
That thing wears its own underwear.
Yeah. What up outside? So I stayed in Malibu. I didn't have to see all of the steroid penis shots or anything like that.
I went to downtown LA, Hollywood, around there. I love Cali. I love California. Like I want to live there eventually. I love that place. First comedy show, I went to the Comedy Store. It's the front row. Joe Rogan and friends saw that, and I was like, came back here, got a job, started doing comedy. Now we're doing this. So it was life changing.
I thought.
Yeah, I mean it's totally crazy out here, but it's fun. It's fun though.
It is. It's a great. I think that's the only place you can go to the beach, sit up against a tree, smoke weed, eat shrooms, and watch a rave happen. It's like, Jesus Christ,
all at the same time. Yeah.
This is amazing.
And beat figs over your back with a German named Mario.
That too.
That
too. You got
in a Speedo.
Yeah, no, it's a Speedo, but it's the one that wraps around in his ass crack and it comes back like I can't explain.
Oh, it's like one of the jumpsuit ones.
I can't explain it.
Yeah.
You lost me.
He's
You lost
wearing
me a
a
little bit.
slingshot.
Yeah, it's a slingshot.
Ooh.
Yeah,
a human slingshot.
It's
with rollerblades.
Shapoing.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. But I bombed hard, and I bombed really bad because there were some professionals that came in. So it was like literally my second time. I don't know what I was thinking. And I was in LA, and the weed is it's extra strong.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I love the weed in LA because
Not me.
What are you talking about? My apartment was right underneath a store, and it's almost like a steak shop.
Johnny likes Reggie. He's a geezer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you had a weed store under your house?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I would just go downstairs. And then they had like
That's
really like
too
nice
good.
lights, and they had all the buds. They would explain where the bud came from, where it was grown, how it was grown. It almost was like you felt important when you went in.
Did you have to explain to somebody when you couldn't pay your rent? Like,
yeah, that was another thing I had to explain.
I can't pay my rent
Yeah.
because I got some more hash today.
Relatable.
So as far as comedy structure goes, do you have a format, or do you like? Is it more open on your sets, or do you have an actual structure to it. You got really professional structure bits, so forth, chunk, so forth and on.
Yeah. So I like to start off with something usually just quick and to the point, so you can grab the audience's attention.
Oh yeah.
I like to do that at the very beginning, because you kind of need to do that. So you do that. Tell maybe one or two like really quick jabs, and then tell somewhat of a short story, and then come back to a quick jab, and then and then you can start getting into your longer formats to it. But you got to really kind of grab their attention at the beginning.
That's why I ask.
So I generally do that.
He does. I do exactly that.
Yeah.
The shock factor.
But hey, but you have to get out there and go bomb. I mean, got to. You know what I mean? I mean, I've bombed several times, and really, you learn a lot.
I refuse to let up on the school shooting joke I've been telling. I refuse to let up.
No, I believe in it.
I do believe in it. I think it's
very, very specific audience.
But as far as bombing goes, I think that each time I bombed personally, I've learned little insights on what I could do differently, what I messed up on that, and each time I guess it's just like a job. I'm more experienced, and as I go, I guess don't do that, don't do that again.
Did I do that?
Yeah. Right.
I guess you gotta.
I think the hardest part for me for stand up is that you should get there like maybe like 15, 20 minutes before the show, and then just kind of look at the audience and like, what age group is it?
Right.
We got older, we got younger, we have a mix, you know what I mean? And then you can kind of start going through like your bits in your head or your sets. Okay, which one should I start off with? Which one should I do? Because you got to connect with them or capture their attention at the very beginning, so they'll continue to keep listening to you. So I've learned to do that, and I think what's helped me out the most is that once a week, like I'll do it today, is that I do a 30 to 45 minute workout on my set. I look at my board really quick at my stuff, put it away, no notes. That's cool. And then just run through my set.
Yeah.
Don't stop, don't do anything. And what that's done is that when I show up now, I don't have to go like, oh, I prepared this one set. What am I going to do? No, I've got 5, 6, 7, 8 different sets that I can choose from depending on what age group the audience is.
That's definitely good advice. I actually got CPS called on me because I was doing my sets with a karaoke machine in front of my kids. They said, you got to stop that. That's child abuse.
And it wasn't a microphone.
You got to perform at Disney World.
Yeah, it's been 72 hours. Yeah, I bought a lot of road bugs that week.
His microphone was a bong.
Yeah. No. Definitely not smoking in front of the...
That's different.
Yeah, definitely not that, but...
Yeah, wait. So in the 3 years that you've been performing and going up, have you ever like been discouraged to the point where you're like, I might take a break. I don't know if this is for me, or you've just been gung-ho since you started?
I think that if I didn't have prior experiences where, they're really life-altering, really life-changing, and extremely difficult, then I probably would have quit within the first year. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but I was in the Navy for 20 years.
I was going to get that.
And I've been to Iraq 4 times, been divorced twice. So I have lots of trauma.
Yeah. I got to quit. I
have lots
You're
of
like, I'm
matter.
tough.
Wait up. Our co-host said 3 times. He said you were
No, I said he's been married 3 times. I didn't say he was
married
divorced
3 times, divorced twice.
I was trying to put him on the spot.
Because
real
I
quick.
actually have a...
I'm going to start.
No, you asked it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I have a question about that.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get the Navy part out. You want to give a shout out to your Navy brothers, or you dislike them? What ship were you on?
The job that they do. I mean, the job that they do. Obviously they. There's several different reasons why, but when you don't see people doing what they do, it tends to be out of sight, out of mind. And then when we do see them, we're like, hey, thank you, for your service, because we really don't know what they did.
Yeah.
But
were you?
I think what's more important than what they do, it's what they do without.
Mm-hmm.
So
true, yeah.
I think that's most important. Like they do without some of a lot of the amenities from home, because a lot of times you go to these third world countries, there's no sanitary system that's there.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
There's just it's not that they miss birthdays and miss anniversaries. Every day is the same day. So it doesn't matter if it's Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. So, I mean, I really appreciate the things that they do by missing out on all just the regular stuff that we do every day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to the United
totally
States military.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Air Force.
Yeah.
Well, not the Air Force. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey.
All of them
All of them are important.
Yeah, all of them are
Some are eating
important.
better than others, but
It takes a special kind of person to do that stuff for sure.
Yeah, it does.
Eat better meals.
My buddy was talking about it. He was like, he's just like, I don't.
He's a
like,
merchant marine.
I feel uncomfortable when people tell me thank you for your service, because I just don't. He's like, it's just weird to me. I was like, I mean, I guess that can make sense. Random people come up and saying that to you, it'd probably be a little awkward, but
Yeah, but I think the most important thing is to know is if someone hasn't been in the military and they haven't had that experience, it's like anything else. If you haven't had that experience, right, then thanking somebody for what they've done that you haven't done, but how are you supposed to really know?
Yeah,
Right.
What it's like if you haven't experienced. So I think it's better just to look at the other person.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's like, I've never been through child labor, never will be.
You don't know.
Pretty awful.
Things are changing.
You know what I mean?
2022.
And it's like, well, thank you for, having the baby.
Thank you for your service.
Shake her vagina's hand thing.
God.
I think it'd be weird when we start saying thank you for your service to Space Force. Thank you for protecting us from Xenos.
Thank you for floating.
Thank you for flying.
they've got. We don't know if they got to fight aliens one day. You back the fuck up off the Space Force.
They're just in there going, "Pew, pew, pew, pew."
I am a strong
See,
supporter of
already
the
judging
Space
them.
Force.
Sponsored by Nerf.
A lot of
supportive.
people don't realize that there is a lot going on up there, reconnaissance satellites, and there's there's stuff that's going on up there that's really
agree.
important as far as GPS guidance.
I feel like the advertising for that's gonna be super old school. Like, hey, see, you want to join the Space Force? See, come on down, son.
Steve Carell play on Space Force.
They canceled it. I found out today.
They came out the second season.
They did, and it's done.
It
Sad.
was corny.
wow.
It was fun. It was fun.
That was good.
Yeah. So, what was your last ship? Were you on, or were you on were you in port, or what? I guess what'd you do?
So, total over the 20 years, I did 9 deployments.
Wow.
I was in. I did 4 ships, but I was also on the ground as well. So I worked at Spec War for about 4 years. So when we did the initial invasion to Iraq, I was on that deployment. I was on the Milius at the time, and so I did 2 tours on ships off the coast of Iraq, and then I did 2 tours in country in Iraq as well. And I've bounced all over that country. So that was Iraq. I also lived in Japan for a total of 5 years.
Oh wow!
So I was on another ship, the Bunker Hill, out of there, and you deploy every year over there because you're so close to all the countries there.
Oh, man.
So I did that, and then I was in San Diego for a long time, but stationed there, but never there. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So I was gone most of the time. So there was only, out of the 20 years, I only went to what they call shore duty twice. And the first time I went was 2.5 years. And then the last one I went was right before I retired, was 2 years. So yeah, I
Good
did a
chunk of
lot.
time.
That is awesome.
Spent 70% of my time in foreign countries.
Wow.
Is that where you got your first sexually transmitted disease at, or is that? Oh wait, was that Dustin? Who?
Oh yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Sorry, that was Dustin. I'm
I
sorry.
got German herpes.
None of us have sexually transmitted
This is
disease.
a safe
Yeah,
space.
yeah, no.
This is a safe space.
It's not a safe space if his lip touches you. I'm glad I'm
That's a
3
safe
hosts
bump.
away. Yeah.
That's a safe bump.
I'm watching for spit particulate. pallets and
Right.
stuff over
Hey,
here.
safety first. Speed
Right,
bumps.
a new
Yeah.
meaning to 6 feet.
Somebody get him some penicillin already.
Some penis filling. Oh, sorry.
Selling.
Yeah, no,
You
I'm
get it from the guy on Hollywood Boulevard that's injecting steroids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that guy. It's something's working because that boy's thick.
Do you think that they're doing more to help the homeless there now, or do you think it's slowly deteriorating? Do you see changes occurring, or for the positive or the negative? I guess I asked that in two different ways. But same. Yeah.
So the positive thing that they're doing is they are building these like portable housing units for them.
I've heard about that.
They're like transitional housing. It's
Tents?
it's basically just a trailer that holds 2 people in it, but it's got running water and all
Like
that
a
kind of
mini
stuff
home.
in there.
That's
So
awesome.
that's a good thing that they're actually doing.
That's cool.
But somebody had told me, there's a gentleman that actually works for the homeless housing community. They told me that they get off the street about 200 a day, but 250 fall into homelessness every day.
Making more
So
than me.
there's
man.
more people falling into homelessness
Yeah,
than
that's
there are
crazy.
getting out.
Is that because of the housing market has got so inflated, or is it just because it's skyrocketed? What do you think contributing factors are? That mental health, like a lot of things that are
Mental
happening
health is a big
all at the
one.
same time with COVID and everything. It's just it's got worse, I guess. But what do you think?
So yeah, well, with COVID, of course, it got worse because of people were furloughed from their job, and then what happened is those companies just couldn't sustain themselves, and then they went away, and then people got into this weird thing. It's like, well, I don't have enough money to move out of state, but now I'm here, but now I'm losing my home. So there was that. But the other one that's constant is that people come into LA, or they're like, hey, I'm going to show up in LA, but I'm going to live in my RV.
Yeah.
So technically, that's considered homeless.
Yeah.
And so you have that aspect of it too. So then you have the people losing their jobs. You have people that are coming here. Then you have, that people have just basically have run out of money and they ran into a bad situation. So it's not just one thing. It's a lot of different things.
Yeah, that's
combined into
kind
one.
of why I left, because I was in a 500 square foot studio paying $1,900 a month, and then there was a guy in an RV right outside of my studio not paying anything. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this?
He's like, my butthole's so sore.
Yeah.
like-
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been sore recently.
Good old butt sex joke.
No.
But was he stealing your electricity then? Did he like run it through your window there?
I didn't
plug
really
in?
look much into that. I was just
Was
more.
your-
I was
your
more
bill
focused. I'm like,
he didn't know if he was getting
know.
robbed.
yeah, I'm like,
He's powering a mini fridge with a
Yeah.
taser.
Why is my electric bill so high?
This guy's got a nicer shirt than me.
yeah, I'm like, what's going on here?
He's powering a mini fridge with a taser.
Yeah.
I do miss Los Angeles for the weather, and then I think the opportunities, but I don't know.
I find it too cluttered.
It's very cluttered.
Very cluttered houses
Yeah.
on top of houses.
It's cluttered, but oddly
Yes.
open feeling at the same time, I feel like.
I like to go to
Depending where
like
you go.
Yeah.
Carmel, California
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
Just I like the coastline personally. It's very beautiful there.
The thing is, like, it's
Yeah,
weird when people
it's gorgeous,
say,
extremely expensive.
Yeah, I
I think-
know. I had to.
I think you just named the two things why people are here: the weather and the opportunity.
That's it,
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I kind of judge my life in LA by how much rent that I'm paying and how many parking spots. I have.
oh, don't even get me started with all those all the ticket fairies that just come around. They're like,
Ticket
I'm gonna
fairies.
find you. We call them ticket fairies.
Oh,
They're
that's
the
good.
worst.
That's good to know. I was thinking
Maidens
about
and
starting
fairies.
up a piggyback service in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just
Will you
piggyback
will you
people
start
around. You just piggyback
carrying pigs around and just-
you just.
You guys can hop on my co-host's back. and
I'm gonna piggyback. It's better. Okay, I won't do it. I thought it sounded like a good idea, but never mind.
I think a big important thing is when people say, how was Los Angeles? It's really hard to determine because Los Angeles isn't just one thing. There's so much to it. There's Glendale, there's Pasadena, there's South Beach. There's like all these places where they're very different, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Santa Monica is
so different
that was dope there.
than it is in Pasadena, and it's very different than it is going north to Malibu. So it's like
Yeah.
when I ever hear that question, I'm like, I don't know how to answer that, to be honest.
Long Beach
I
is
feel like
awesome.
I asked you that question when I first
Yeah.
met. I'm like, why did you come to Indiana? Why would you?
Because I'm
do
broke.
that?
I'm broke.
Yeah,
And the
I
lady,
can't afford it.
and the
Yeah.
lady that sticks her finger in my
I kind
butt.
of think
took
it's
me
a really
out.
good
God,
thing that
Jorge.
LA has different areas to it. I mean, because that I think that's what makes it so interesting. There's so many different like cultures within one huge city.
And I lived
that's what makes it so unique, I think.
And I lived in Glendale, and definitely the Armenians did not like me. And they also thought I was Armenian, which didn't make any sense. They're like,
Were they throwing up?
Was
they
makeup?
throwing up Phoenix?
no, there was
They
just
throwing up Phoenix.
there was
It's the
no-
makeup. It
there
was.
was
Fucking
just-
Prince of Persia over here.
there was just a ton
Prince of Persia.
there was just a ton of pissed off Ed Hardy wearing BMW driving people everywhere.
Yo, was it you batting your eyelashes
I was
at
also
him?
like with my eyelashes, I'm like, hey
batting
baby,
your
come here.
eyelashes?
Hey, you guys want to hear a Nicolas Cage impression?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Let's hear it.
Please.
Okay, guess what movie? Oh, the artifacts. Gotta find them. Oh, yeah. Artifacts.
National Treasure.
National
Yeah,
Treasure.
Yeah.
Treasure.
The only
He
good
said
movie he's
in
done.
National Treasure.
That's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mike, what's your thoughts on belly button lint?
I got some now.
On belly button lint,
Yeah.
it's a souvenir.
Yeah.
Oh, you and Dustin, you
Souvenir.
guys agree
There you
on that
go.
one. There you
Let's
go.
make a
That's
quilt.
easy.
Let's make a quilt.
Oh, good.
Usually a souvenir from the previous night. You can look at it. You can think about what you did from the from the
Called
night
the memory
before,
quilt. The memory quilt.
Yeah, I like to roll it in my fingers like a booger.
Sniff it.
Oh no!
Off in the distance.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Imagine someone getting hit with that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I don't roofie people. I just put belly button lint in their drinks.
That's worse.
Yeah,
That's almost worse.
That is a lot worse.
It's like an unexpected thing in their mouth. Like,
Is that still technically a Cosby?
Yes.
No.
For sure.
But if they're not going to sleep and I'm not diddling no one.
Oh my god.
I guess.
It's an ornament.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
A garnish.
It's a garnish, yeah.
It's a garnish.
So I guess one more serious question before we have a lot of fun here. So when working with bookers, do they always find you, or are you reaching out? Or is it a multi, factor thing going on there, or how's that all work out?
It's a multi-factor thing, and really, what I've experienced in LA is because there are so many comedians and so much entertainment. They really prefer to kind of see you live, only because of you never know what the audience is going to do or say, and see how you kind of handle that. At the same time, it's important to have like a media package. So I have a media package. Because what will happen too is if a booker happens to see you, they're like, send me your media package. So it kind of reminds them about you, and then they can show their team or whatever. So I think it's a combination of both. And you really, really need to be on top of this. So I have my headshots all on my phone. I got my media package. If you need it, it's like, boom, you got it. Because I have this mentality, especially being here in LA, I am replaceable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is.
You can find another comedian to replace me in the next probably 10 seconds.
He'll probably be in a Speedo. Slingshot style.
Yeah, probably be in a Speedo. So, I have that mindset. So by having that mindset, it's like, if you need something, boom, I'm on it. You need this? All right, I got it. Because if not, the next person behind me is just waiting.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's cutthroat. Yeah.
It definitely, I want to keep it fun, but it definitely kind of turns into a business, and you got to be on point as you go. I think it sucks. I just want to make people laugh. I'm like, just put me in the fucking show. I'll make people laugh. Give me some chicken wings, and I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for me, and I'm happy with that.
Another weird thing I feel like about comedy is a lot of people think that just because you get paid makes you a comic. It's like, no. Well, I used to think that a comic was like, well, I got paid in chicken nuggets the other night, so.
Yeah, no, chicken nuggets.
That's good, man. That's great. That's good.
You know, how chicken wings are expensive nowadays.
Yeah, he's like, that doesn't necessarily mean you're a comedian just because you get paid, but he's like,
I don't know. Doesn't that mean you're getting paid for your profession? So that's.
I feel like I feel like if it's the only thing you're really doing, other than like that's what's supporting your life, then, or like you're doing that constantly,
Yeah, I'm like, fuck it, give me chicken wings, and I'm there. Like, Laura's.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Go. I mean, you should be out there having a great time, and that's what people want to see. You're on stage having a good time. They're having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, the business aspect of that, I think that's kind of later on.
Yeah.
You know, once you start feeling comfortable with it, and you decide, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to go down this track, then you start looking at the business side of it. But I think having fun has got to be the primary aspect at the beginning.
Yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking. I want to do something before we get off here. Our co-host,
I got a couple questions.
Our co-host here was told that she's monotone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was wondering if we could do some monotone drills with her. So, has anybody got any ideas? What do you want to? You want to throw a scene at her?
Yeah, I'd like to.
no.
Yeah,
I would like to see Lauren do the Angry Turtle intro.
Oh no.
Oh no, Lauren, and it can't it cannot be in the same tone.
You got to try this Angry Turtle intro. I got to same. You know how it goes. You know how we do it here.
Oh no.
Go for it.
Okay, Wyatt, can you give us a fake countdown?
Why do you guys hate me?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's funny.
That was good. Wow, that was amazing.
Maybe improv practice.
That was pretty good.
Need some.
I gotta go in for Lauren.
Okay.
Do the
Why do you
the
guys say
speech, the minor speech of Mel Gibson during what was that movie that he did?
What? You better be on point. You give it like.
I was like, he's
You're giving hillbilly directions over there. Go down by the
an
barn, take a
award-winning-
left.
Braveheart. Sorry, Braveheart.
Which part of Braveheart?
They will not take our freedom. Whatever that part is.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you.
Want me give you a voice to do, and then you mock the voice.
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll do this.
I can copy off. Yeah.
They will not take our freedom. Shay, try that.
Just a lot less testosterone, please.
Or more testosterone. Who knows? Come on. Just put fuck it in your mind. You're not Lauren anymore. You're Braveheart.
Oh, I'm not learning. Okay.
You're Braveheart.
You are Mel Gibson.
Is that when he's on the horse and he's like,
Yeah.
"They will not take our freedom."
Oh, yeah.
I sound
That sounded like you're being choked out.
It sounded like you had like a mid-stroke there. It's like,
It's like, well, you got something to say? You will not take our freedom.
Yeah. Any advice for a awkward stand-up comic for like getting out of their shell and loosening up and enjoying the moment?
Enjoying the moment. Call out things that are in the audience.
Oh, okay.
That will make you in the moment for sure. For sure.
Do you think
that will make you in the moment?
Yeah, improv helps. What do you think? Improv is a useful skill to like for stand up, or is that its own?
Yeah,
thing?
I think anything that you do, because I mean, what's great about stand up is that it's not really a team effort. It's an individual thing. So whatever skills that you've perfected before that, if that's in your skill set, then do it for sure. But if you want to be in the moment, call out something in the audience, because now you're in it.
Oh no.
And now you're going to figure out your way to get out of it.
Well, yeah. What if I get heckled? Oh God.
That's okay. Like, hey, dude, I'll show you my dick. And just move on.
Yeah, the guy's confused. Like, what just happened?
No, I had someone that I've been heckled a few times, and generally I just kind of ignore it at first, because a lot of times, sometimes the people just think that that's what they're supposed to do when you're really not, but they want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But I had someone heckle me once because I told them that I live in a shithole, and they go like, "Oh, you really shouldn't be saying that." I said, "I lived there for 7 years. I can say that. You can't."
There we go.
Yeah.
I think my go-to is like, that's funny.
Yeah, and I've had I have a bit where I talk about Gen X toys, and I talk about Barbie and how Barbie is the one who started like the whole identity crisis trend. And then I talk about how if Ken was anatomically correct, I said, and I said, I think Mattel thought about him being anatomically correct because, it makes sense why Barbie's legs can be popped off and then pop back on again. And so this girl in the front, she like rolls her eyes. I said, why are you rolling your eyes? And she just kind of looked at me and she just goes, well, I didn't really think that was appropriate. I said, I'm talking about not a real person, right?
Yeah,
we're talking about a toy.
Right.
We're talking about a toy. Somebody that's not real. That, that doesn't have an opinion or anything like that. Or that can post a Yelp review.
I mean, she is a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Yeah. Yeah. I blame Barbie and Ken for misleading me on sex because I always thought it was dry humping.
Yeah, no, was it just me? Or am I the only one that looked the crotch of a Barbie? Sorry.
Oh.
I mean, I used to put them together.
Scissoring.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
I used to melt them together just from back to back, like ass to ass.
I used to freeze my toys in like a block of ice for some reason.
Yeah, in the 90s, we just put firecrackers on them and blew the shit out of them.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, well, it's better than licking the vagina of a Barbie doll.
You're blowing one.
It's like,
blowing it up. Sky high.
Oh, okay. I thought that's not what I thought.
Yeah,
Well, I got a question for you before. I got just one real good question for you. We've gotten. I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to tell you all that we've gotten. We've gotten. It's cereal soup. Okay, it's a question. And we've gotten gazpacho. We've gotten bouillabaisse. We got like a stew.
Stew. Yeah.
What was that? What did Rodney call it? Gazpacho, I think.
No, yeah,
But-
he said it was a stew, right?
A stew?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're gonna ask him that question. That was a hell of a wind up to it.
Well, I said it at the beginning, but like, what do you think? Do you think cereal soup, or do you think it's a gazpacho or stew or a? What do you think?
I think more of a stew.
A stew. I can see that. I can see
Awesome.
that.
We're getting
Stew.
down to
stew. I can
down
see
to
that.
the last of our time here.
Was there anything you'd like to like?
One word, stew.
Yeah.
Stew pickles like Rugrats. Is there anything you'd like to plug, man, or anything you want to shout out?
Yeah. So I'm going to be on Monday. I'm going to be in Sherman Oaks at the Oaks Tavern at 8 p.m. So I'm going to be there, and then on Thursday I'm going to be in North Hollywood, where I produce my show Dysfunctional Fun, which is also at 8 p.m. And you can just look me up on all social medias at Heavy Metal Dad Comic on there, and I have a link in my bio that goes directly to my schedule.
Awesome. You guys want to do like a heavy metal outro?
Oh yeah. First off, we want to thank you guys for watching another episode and all the episodes that we put out. And the support means a lot. You can find us on all platforms, especially YouTube. If you check us out here, comment, let us know what you think of the episode. Any of the questions we ask, chime in, baby. But let's do this metal intro. 3, 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks again for all your
Everybody
advice.
take care.
Thanks, man. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Bye-bye.